Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragalia Foundry, a fan channel where everything Dragalia Lost can be found. This video is going to be all about the Celestial Showdown raid event that's happening right now in Dragalia Lost. There are still a few days left if you want to participate in this New Year's raid event. You can add Izumo to your collection, he's the free adventure from this one, and you can take on Tsukuyomi, who is a character that we've known was coming to Dragalia Lost since almost the beginning, who has finally made an appearance as of this event. There's also a super cool story introducing Shingen and Yukimura, and at the end of this video I'll share some thoughts on the story in addition to showing off the raid battle itself, which is on screen now. So I'm showing a clear of the Omega Level 3 raid event. Wanted to try use some characters from the storyline of the event, decided to throw on the twins here as my healer as well, and really this was a pretty fun raid to take on. The production value felt really nice. I think that always with these New Year's raids, the characters that we get from Hinamoto are fun, the music is good, there are a lot of enjoyable elements, and the rewards are there as well. We have the New Year's login bonus still happening right now, we have the free summons available, we have the prize showcase bringing back past New Year's adventures. There's a lot to like with the New Year's in Dragalia Lost, and so hopefully you've had a good experience with it so far. I have been enjoying checking out Shingen and Yukimura, going to be doing some Kaleido runs with them this weekend, but otherwise was pretty quiet week for me, pretty busy week, so I didn't get a lot of playtime in Dragalia since my summoning session, so have some catch up to do this weekend for sure. Anyway, as far as my thoughts on this raid event, one, I think it's super cool to finally get Tsukuyomi in the game. I wish she was a dragon that we could summon for as well, because I think that she has a really beautiful design and that would be fun to have her as a playable character. But at the same time, she is a unique raid boss, and I appreciate that about her. She's not a reskin of any past boss. And at first, I actually thought the counter on her was some type of special mechanic unique to her. And later, I eventually realized that that's actually the burst gambit counter that is the mechanic, the central mechanic of our new characters, Shingen, Yukimura, and Izumo. So if you see that counter, that is essentially what that is. It'll count down as debuffs and afflictions are applied to the boss, and the burst gambit will activate when that goes down to 0. So that's what you're looking at there. There's a cooldown after it goes off as well. But the other central thing in this fight, the thing that actually is done by Tsukuyomi, you may have seen that she causes creeping corrosion, so she can do that. But besides that, she summons an interesting set of characters. She summons Chthonius, Alberius, and Miriam, all of whom played a part in the second War of Bindings, so it's interesting to see them be her particular summons. I guess it kind of makes sense with Tsukuyomi being a being that has been around for quite some time, but still I think it's cool that they're appearing here, and it makes me wonder, are they going to be in the Kaleidoscape soon? Are they going to be in some kind of new challenge in a Colosseum event, since they're now in the game as enemies, Chthonius having been there? I don't remember if Alberius was necessarily there in his event, or Miriam was. I don't think so though. So that definitely surprised me to see them. Of course, I have to use some of the new stickers that we got for the new year as well. And that's pretty much going to be it as far as the gameplay I show off. I want to hop into the story conversation now just to share a moment in the story. I think y'all who have played through it so far will know what I'm talking about, but a moment in the story that was truly epic and has me excited about things to come. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. As far as my thoughts on the story overall, I like this one. It felt like a nice continuation of our New Year's stories past, but it does leave me wondering what's going to happen next, and honestly, whether we can really trust Amaterasu. It feels like she's presented as one of the good characters in this storyline, but at the same time, one of the central elements of the story is Izumo and Izumo's alter ego, Oki, and I guess they kind of maybe foreshadowed this with the heterochromia thing going on, but that alter ego being spawned out of the 8-span mirror that was provided by Amaterasu. So I do wonder if the pocket dimension that Amaterasu has created, where we fight this raid battle against Tsukuyomi, is just for that purpose of protecting Hinamoto, or if there's actually some more nefarious purpose behind the scenes. And yeah, this is the thing I really wanted to show off. As an aside, this was just a super hype moment for me, like seeing all the Worm Clan leaders, including some of the ones we've seen over the game's life, over the game's history. Like, it's crazy to think how far we've come. We have many of them now. We have, I guess, over half of them, right? Now available, or almost half, exactly half perhaps. There's 3 right there. There's Yoshitsune there, along with the woman with the eye patch, and the man with the hood and the yellow hair, red eyes. So they could be the Dragon Worm Clan leaders, perhaps. They could be the Snake Worm Clan leaders. There are several animals of the Zodiac missing, but of course, there are some more Worm Clan leaders that are going to show up that seem more likely to fit certain roles. I just think it's cool and bold that we're able to actually see these characters at this point in time, essentially locking in who we're going to be getting in the future. So there you see the woman with the glasses and the pink hair, I think, obviously, Snake Worm Clan leader, and the person with the sheep in the background, the horns, probably the sheep, ram, or maybe goat, depending on your nomenclature, Worm Clan leader. Almost looks like a cleric type or apothecary of some kind, and Nobunaga, of course, with the cutout on the side. We still haven't met her dragon, Susanoo. And finally, Yukimura Shingen, and maybe this is the hound or dog, the blue hair there, also with the eye patch of some kind or some kind of ornament. He looks super cool too. And of course, this is where in the story we get the magical transformation of Yukimura going Super Saiyan on us with her long hair, or maybe magical girl transformation's a better analogy. But I just thought this was a really nice moment. The story had some very wholesome beats overall. The characters are a little over the top, but that makes them fun. And for me, this was a really solid raid event. So hopefully you liked it too. I don't think that there's any particular strategy or difficulty necessarily with the Omega this time around. It seems to require well-invested gear, characters, and hopefully for the co-op version, good teammates. But outside of that, I think it's something you can take on with pretty much any team composition because Tsukuyomi is neutral element. Of course, we have the Join the Charge Brave Warriors there, and that is pretty much it for the story so far. We are going to get an epilogue at the end of this raid event, which may tease things about what's to come in the future in this Hinamoto story arc. I'm still wondering why Mitsuhide is planning an insurrection against Amaterasu. That remains to be answered, and that's one of the reasons I think Amaterasu might still be a villain. That is going to do it for today, though, everyone, so thank you as always for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.